All right. If you have been with us the last couple of weeks, we have been previewing all the NFL divisions. We decided that we are going to do the AFC West last week.
This one was not fun. I don't know about you guys. I was not super thrilled about this one. What did you think?
It was pretty vanilla.
Did you guys have the same one again?
Do we, Tyler?
I don't know.
No, you don't. No, you
we
don't.
don't.
Okay. We're all different.
Broncos,
We're all different this week, which is great.
Okay. So, Haley, walk us through your division order.
Yeah, so I'll go first. Also, if you guys can see, I'm wearing gray on gray today, so really dressed up for the pod in my outfit. I have Kansas City in the first.
We all have Kansas City.
We all have Kansas City. Let's get it out of the way. The script, they're good. They're incredible. They have been to the Super Bowl, like probably more times than I can even probably put in my head right now in the last like 10 years.
I think
Who's
I have a note.
Who's your number?
Kansas City's number one for
three
me.
of the last five.
They've won the division.
1, 2.
Yeah, 3 of the last 5. That's what I was trying to say. Before I continue with my with my order, I didn't do records for this one. I know we do sometimes, but I just didn't do it for this division. I have this quick stat that I found last night. All 4 AFC West teams, the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers, have by 2023 won this division 15 times each. So this season will be the first, the first one to break 15. So that's just something I thought was a cool stat. I thought that was really interesting that they're all tied for 15. I have Kansas City being first in the division. I have the Chargers being second.
Give me your number 2. Just your number 2. We'll go that way.
Okay, second, I have the Chargers.
Why do you have the Chargers too?
I have the Chargers too. I think they've made a lot of, I think we've talked about, like, I'm a big on paper roster gal when we do these talks. I think that just on paper, the Chargers look good. I am still a little bit sus about this whole Justin Herbert situation. I don't know if we've even recorded since the Justin Herbert thing came out, but I don't necessarily know. I feel very similar to the Daniel Jones deal. Like, just the way the NFL is going, obviously these deals are going to be so much more money, et cetera, et cetera. Is he worth that much money? I don't really think so, but I'm interested to see. I don't know. I've always just kind of had a soft spot for the Chargers. And I just, I feel bad that they play at the same, the whole situation. So I have them second.
I do not feel bad for the Chargers.
I know that's a bad take. I know that's
Tyler. Why do you have the Chargers too?
So I actually really like them. I think they've got a really good roster. I think they would have been better last year had they not been so injured. And there comes a point where you just keep getting all these injuries. I don't know how you fix it, but I'm hoping they don't. I was almost talking myself into the Chargers winning the division.
Really?
The Chiefs have won the division since 2016. I think things need to change at some point. Water's gonna find its level. This could be the year. I don't know. I'm a coward. I didn't predict it, but it could be. And I think the Chargers, if they're healthy, could be better than they were last year.
That's the key.
Because I think they've only improved on paper their roster.
I should also state that I'm a huge Brandon Staley fan. Like, I'm not. Him.
That's the reason that I don't have them.
I love him. I'm sorry. That's it. That's probably why I put them at 2. I really felt with this division, honestly, swear to God, that Chargers, okay, maybe more so number 2. And Kendra, you can have your input after, because I know you hate Brandon Staley. So, but I feel like this division, I think this division was more for me, like Kansas City won. And I felt like any of the other 3 teams could, like, it's just kind of like, I don't know.
The Raiders are going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Raiders are going to be really bad.
Which is really triggering because I'm still coming off of the absolute massacre that they handed to the Patriots last season.
That's fair.
So,
but okay, Kendra, who do you have as 2? Sorry.
I have the Broncos too, and it's literally strictly just because, one, I don't think that Sean Payton can talk that much shit and not come out here and kick everybody's ass. Okay. Like, I said this on Joe Murray's show the other night, and I do mean it. I think that was just him covering his ass in case that this team shits the bed again. He can be like, well, it was so bad. Like, I need a couple of seasons, you know? And on top of that, though, I do think that he's a really good coach. I think he's a difference-making coach. This roster isn't as...
I don't love the roster. That's why I don't.
Yeah,
that's why I don't like it either.
I don't love the roster, but the thing is, was that thunder?
Is that lightning?
Wow.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna put myself on mute when you talk, so that doesn't happen again.
Wow.
I'm quiet. Go ahead.
My thing is, I don't love Brandon Staley, and I think that Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. Yeah, but he hasn't won anything. And until he does, I'm not going to believe in him or this team, unfortunately. Like, if he proves me wrong, this team, I have the Kansas City Chiefs making a huge regression this year. Do I think that they're the best team in this division? Yes. Do I think that they're the best team in the NFL just because of Patrick Mahomes? Yes. It's a quarterback league, and when you have the best quarterback in the league, you're gonna be the number one team to me. I'm sorry. It is what it is, and their depth is pretty decent. They got worse, but I think that the Chargers, if Justin Herbert can make that step and actually fucking win something, and Brandon Staley can stop being a dink, they're the best team in this division the next couple of years.
Yeah, I really like. I'm in the boat that, yeah, Justin hasn't done it, but I don't think he can't do it.
I disagree.
I'm just kind of like
I do agree with you.
I'm just kind of like, my look at him is more glass half full. I believe that he can do this and will.
I do too.
But
I do too. I just don't know until that moment happens and I really see that like big jump. I'm not going to believe in him in the same way that I do. And here's the thing. I don't want to compare him. I'm going to compare him to his peers, actually. And it's not just a Trevor Lawrence thing. This is just the first thing that I think of. Trevor Lawrence in the Ravens game last year, you saw that switch happen. That's when they went on that huge, like 7-game win streak into the playoffs, whatever. That switch, I just haven't seen completely turn for Justin Herbert yet. And I don't know if it's a Brandon Staley issue. I don't know if
I kind of think it might be off. I think it's an injury. I just keep going back to the injuries. That offensive line was tattered with injuries.
Yeah.
I think it's a similar issue to what we've talked about with some other teams where it's kind of like a shit sandwich. They have all these injuries. As much as I love Brandon Staley as a person, I think he's very, very flawed as a coach, especially as a head coach sometimes in making those tough decisions and those tough calls. I think that when you consider a bunch of different things that have happened with the Chargers over the last decade, honestly, it's like there's a couple things that have piled on top of each other that have contributed to what's going on. But I agree. I think that they can totally pull it off. Yeah. I think your point about Sean Payton's solid too. I love Sean Payton. I love him as a coach. I think he's one of the best head coaches in the league right now, just from not necessarily from a numbers perspective, a winning perspective, but I think in terms of the way he thinks about the game of football, I think that it'll be really interesting to see what he brings to that team. I agree about the point with him talking shit. Honestly, I have the Broncos last in the division because of that. I think that they really just screwed themselves over, because I just really struggle with teams that always go into the preseason like, we can really do this, like we got this, like this is going to be so we're picking up the shit that you left here. Like, I don't like that look at all. Didn't think it was a good look, and I think they might have played themselves.
Yeah. So I think that if the Chargers can get out of their own way, they're clearly the second best team in this division right now. And I think the next couple of years, as long as one of these guys like Joshua Palmer or Jalen Guyton can step up in replacement of Keenan Allen's inevitable departure, I think that they're the next team in this division.
I love their wide receiver room.
Me too.
Quentin Johnson. Yeah. I've heard he's doing really good at camp right now too. And I think he could be like a big time wide receiver in the league.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too. But he's already kind of filling a role on that team like that. I think that if you can get one of those other two younger guys to step up when Keenan Allen has to step away, they'll continue to be good there. It's just almost one of those situations where I see that they're going to have maybe some cap issues down the line. You can't pay everybody.
Yeah, true.
So I have the Chargers as my number 3, just because I'm not positive that they can get out of their own way. But when I see that, I will be a Chargers truther just because of the depth on their roster that they've created. I just really do worry about Brandon Staley at times and Justin Herbert's ability to make decisions at times. Who you guys both have? No, you guys have
I
different
have
ones.
my 3 is Denver, kind of just because like I still have questions about Russell.
Me
Like,
too.
was Russell last year bad because Hackett, or is he really just washed? If he's really just washed, they could easily lose this division and be one of the worst teams in the league because
Yeah, I
the
agree with
rest of
that.
that roster is just not as good. But I think if Russell can find Seattle Russell again, they could. I have them going. So I did over unders again. I'm over on Kansas City, over on Chargers. I have them around even. I think what was it? 8.5 wins. I have them hovering around 7 to 9 wins probably.
How short do you think Russell Wilson's leash is?
It's got to be short. I think if I were in charge, if I were Sean Payton, it would be very short leash. But at the same time, who's their backup?
Jarrett Stidham and Ben DiNucci. I don't think Jarrett Stidham is
shout out
that.
Ben, friend of the program. Forgot
Ben
about
DiNucci.
Ben.
Yeah, I don't think that Jarrett Stidham is that far off from the Russell Wilson that we had last season.
From the one we had last year, but
Yeah.
the Seattle one is like the idea of Russell is like the Super Bowl. But,
oh my God, yeah. He's a Hall of Famer if he doesn't tarnish his legacy like the way he did last year.
And I think if he comes out and has a bad season again, hang it up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, just stop. Done. Quit while you're ahead.
I do
you ruin
think
everything.
It's worth saying something that they brought Joe Lombardi in as their new offensive coordinator coming off of the Los Angeles Chargers. And I'm kind of like, as we come off our conversation about Justin Herbert, what do you guys think? Do you think that's better for Russ? I'm in the party. I'm going to be 100% honest right now. You can clip me. I hope you're wrong. Like I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm on the Russ is washed train. Like I've been on that train. Like I don't think, like, I think just looking at the Geno Smith situation last year and just everything that came out of the whole situation, I just don't see it for him. But yeah, I could be wrong. I just don't see it for the Broncos, and that's why I have them last. But what do you think of the offensive coordinator situation? Do you think that's better or worse?
So I have a couple comments. The only thing that I think is going to help Russell Wilson this season is the fact that he doesn't have a rookie head coach. He has Sean Payton, who's telling him, you don't get your fucking office. You don't get your boys in here. This is football.
Yep.
Be a football player.
100%.
I think that's a positive for Russell Wilson. But I do have a conspiracy theory that ties in about the offensive coordinator situation, but from a different perspective. I have a feeling that the Cowboys, they do have a really good roster, but Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator that I think should have gotten a head coaching job this offseason, took the same role for the Chargers. And he's one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. So that makes me think, is it just that the Chargers have something incredible going on? And I just thought about this yesterday after I kind of had made my decision about the division, which I think does make me feel a little bit better about the Chargers. But is it that Dallas's situation was so bad that he felt the need to take the same position with higher taxable income in California? Or is it that the Chargers, he thinks, just have something incredibly special going on?
Well, to be fair with you, I think I would also rather live in Los Angeles than Dallas.
I don't know.
For me.
I don't think I would.
I would.
I don't know if I would either, to be honest. But
I'm a beach guy though. I love a good beach.
I hate the city of Los Angeles.
I also hate the city of Los Angeles. Tyler has never been, and he thinks that it's great. And I have told him multiple times that it is
Malibu.
Not. No,
Tyler, have you ever sat in LA traffic?
No, he hasn't. I've tried to explain this to him. And like,
you hate Nashville traffic.
And Tyler, listen,
I don't want traffic, period. If in my perfect life, I'm not driving anywhere on my own. I'm having a driver.
And Tyler, you also get super spooked out by homeless people. And I'm here to tell you, in LA, sweetie, there's homeless like people 5 times what they have in Nashville. But it's not like anything you've ever seen. Like it's different in LA. LA is different than when people make.
My vision of LA is I have a lot of money living there.
No.
But no, that's the only way I would move there is if I had a lot of money. And if I had a lot of money and I'm moving to LA, I'm not dealing with any of that stuff. I'm going to have a driver. I'm going to be living in a place away from the homeless. I'll have security. I'm not worried about any of it.
Yeah, I have absolutely no desire to live in the city or around the city of Los Angeles.
Me either.
Nice
But I think that does
Malibu
speak
beach
to,
house.
I think more so than where he wants to go. I think Kendra brings up a good point. Is there something on this Chargers team that was more attractive?
Justin Herbert.
You could argue. But the other thing too is I think it speaks also to the fact that they were like, we're going to bring Kellen Moore in here. Joe Lombardi, you can peace out and go to Denver. And I think that might benefit the Chargers in the long run and put the Broncos at a disadvantage.
I think in all honesty, what he probably sees is a higher ceiling for the Los Angeles team than he had for Dallas. Because they've been very stagnant at Dallas for the past several years with Dak Prescott. He hasn't really achieved what people thought he could. And I think he probably sees more potential in Justin Herbert than he did in Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but it makes me feel like he doesn't want a head coaching job because he was the next guy. But he was the next guy in line to be the head coach probably of the Dallas Cowboys because Mike McCarthy is a fraud.
You also got to think about the ownership situation. He probably has a bad taste and Jerry could do whatever he wants. He could get rid of me in a second. Maybe there's more security, or he was offered more security with LA.
I don't know. It's kind of a, what is really going on situation for me. Haley, why do you have the Raiders over the Broncos?
I have the Raiders over the Broncos because I think they played themselves. I already am convincing myself that the Broncos are going to not improve at all from last season. I think Sean Payton obviously will bring a level of improvement, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. I think that, again, like I mentioned, I'm still triggered by the Las Vegas game last year. Garoppolo, as we've discussed at length, is just so injury prone. I think their roster has taken a lot of hits from the I just don't think that I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like it.
I live right by the ocean. If you don't know, I live literally right near the ocean. So when the thunder comes through, it is crazy. So I apologize to all of our listeners if you can hear that in the background. But yeah, listen, I understand that Garoppolo is always injury prone, and I'm always going to make excuses for him because he came out of the Patriot system and blah, 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 blah. And he's Italian and handsome. And I can't wait to see him in tight white pants. It's going to be so awesome. And I think that is the only reason I have them in third. I think them and Denver, honestly, either one could be third and fourth. I don't have a lot of high expectations.
I've never liked Jimmy Garoppolo. I've always thought he was
a lot of men don't, which I find very interesting.
Completely awful.
I think that his salt and pepper hair matching his uniform makes him sexier.
He's so sexy. I'm sorry.
He does fit the Raiders aesthetic.
And I'm not even into athletes, but he's handsome.
I also need to preface that I think that if this is so Haley DeMello coded, but because the Raiders organization is now in Vegas, I think I'm rooting for them a little bit more obviously than I was in Oakland, even though it's literally the same organization and the same team. Because when they were in Oakland, they were number one enemies of the NFL, and they still are that franchise. It's the same franchise, but they're in Vegas.
I love the Raiders,
and we love Vegas, and so I don't know. I just kind of hope they do well, and I love Jimmy, so I don't know.
I was a Raiders radio intern, so you know what? Wow. Oakland forever.
So I'm probably setting myself up for absolute heartache, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on Josh McDaniels as a head coach.
I am curious in Kendra's thoughts.
That's going to be a big discussion point at the end of the season.
I think it's going to be a big discussion point all of the season.
I think it's going to be a big discussion point.
In fact, he may not have. Well, they might not be able to afford to fire him.
I don't know.
Apparently, the Raiders organization has some financial issues, but
because of the John Gruden situation.
If they can figure that out, I think he may be one of the coaches to lose his job in the middle of the season.
In the middle,
agree.
You think?
Sometime in the middle of the season, yeah.
Damn.
Could you imagine, dude, Brady's an owner, so it's imagine if Brady is the one to be so involved.
The Raiders is a New England Patriots, this whole thing is a worst nightmare scenario because I love Josh McDaniels and my heart is breaking because it is just so obviously not working.
I'm a Patriots fan.
I know. and everybody's sucking now. So that's where I am.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we get to your QB tiers, Haley?
I just wanted to say Raiders, surprise, surprise, Caleb Williams lottery. I have to mention it every week.
The long con.
I'm going to mention it.
All about Caleb Williams.
Every division is going to have somebody in the Caleb Williams lottery.
You should come up with a list.
Yeah. Wait, do we have your official prediction? I already forget.
For what?
For where he's going. You already called it, but I forgot.
Tyler said the Lions could tank for him, and I think that is his hottest take ever.
I said I wouldn't be upset. I don't think they will. I think the Lions win the division. But
the idea of Daddy Campbell tanking anything is laughable to me.
No,
over that man's dead body.
For the record, I do not think the Lions would do it. I wouldn't be upset if we ended up with Caleb Williams. No, I don't even think they could. I just wouldn't be upset if we ended up with Caleb Williams.
Okay.
But
anyways,
the Raiders, I think they're going to be very bad this year. And I think them and Arizona are my two that like have the best chance of getting Caleb Williams.
I would say the entire NFC South.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the NFC South. I was doing taps.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the episode. Arizona, the NFC South, the Raiders.
I like my Washington pick.
The Packers, maybe. I think the Packers are going to be ass.
Yeah, they could be.
They are.
I don't want to put that.
They are.
I can't have Caleb Williams in my division.
I also like your point, Kendra, about Devontae, because I agree. I just saw that.
On Devontae.
I don't remember what I said.
I think he might be on his way out.
He's gonna hate his life, is what you put in the notes.
Oh yeah, he's gonna totally
hate his life.
I thought I saw behind the scenes he was looking for a trade, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
So my dark horse is obviously the Broncos. Haley, I don't think yours is really a dark horse.
No, I have the Chargers.
The same one.
Yeah, I think if it works for them, it works.
But mine is kind of like, I wanted to do Quentin Johnson as my dark horse.
Okay.
I think he's going to have like a really good rookie year.
I think that he's going to be, agreed.
I hate Bijan Robinson, that he's just going to take rookie of the year from me. All of my good like predictions, they're not going to matter because Bijan's just going to run the ball every play.
I like Bijan, whatever.
No, I mean, he's great. I love him. But like, I think we should exclude him from rookie of the year.
Okay. I just have the Chiefs making the playoffs. The AFC is too tough. Maybe the Chargers or the Broncos if things go really squirrely. What about you guys?
I am going to go with the Chiefs. Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and say that they clinch home field while we're at it, because that's just how it goes, doesn't it? And I'm going to go Chargers with the second spot. I don't think we're going to get a wild card from this group. I know Tyler disagrees, but
yeah, I just went for fun. I said Denver's going to get in there too for funsies.
Okay. I'm also no longer making any comments about wicked cool highlights that I'm really excited for because of the Miami cornerback situation. So I will not be saying how excited I am for certain players, but I agree with Tyler. Quentin Jackson's going to sit.